Welcome back to the Final Pub. My name is Juan Jimenez.
And I am Albin Ramirez, and we just got out of the theaters and we watched My Old Ass.
And this is our mini podcast segment before the pop, where we give our initial thoughts on the movie. There were several parts in this movie that, kind of pulled on your feelings. It was an emotional movie.
It was.
For sure.
It was.
And, what are your initial thoughts?
Well,
actually, what were your expectations going into this movie?
Okay. My expectations with this movie, I did see a trailer. I did see a little bit of a TikTok here and there about this movie. And, it kind of does have that vibe about drug use and obviously shrooms being the drug. And I kind of felt like it was just one of those teenage movies.
Yeah.
Where they're just partying, they're just doing stupid shit. And then, after a little bit of the trailer, I did see that it was about her seeing her old ass, right?
Yeah.
That's when I was kind of intrigued a little bit. And I had a bit of like, oh, okay, I want to see where this goes. Let me say this from the get-go. Scientifically or logically, it don't make sense. How does she just show up, because they did drugs, and then how can other people see?
Yes. So if you're going to go see this movie, don't be too scientific about it.
For sure, because it's not realistic at all.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I do feel like this story has a nice plot to it, a nice story. Like you said, it touches on your heartstrings.
Yeah.
It pulls on them, and I think that's the part where I think most people will enjoy.
Yeah.
And also the comedy. There's a lot of, funny moments
there
here
is
and
some funny moments. Now, I like to add on to the emotional part. I feel like this movie kind of works, I don't want to say best, but it does work best for older people. It's so weird because I feel like this, you got your future self, right, telling you, like, go with your mom more.
Right.
Hang out with these people more.
Yeah.
I feel like the older you get, the more of those things come back to you. Like, oh my gosh, I should have, hang out with my mom, my sister, whoever. And I feel like the adults felt that more. They are that older version of themselves in that movie. And that young, naive, girl, she's like the younger generation that doesn't know and doesn't appreciate that time. And even if she says, like, I wish time could stop. And that's her saying that when she's barely 18.
Yeah, exactly. This movie is definitely one of those movies where it has a range to it, where it's, from teenage all the way to your 50s, I think.
Yeah.
All these people can kind of relate to it. And even I can, because, I kind of say the same things a lot, like, oh man, I wish I had more time, I don't spend enough time with my family, my friends, yada, yada, yada. And it's true. And that is something that is easily relatable to everybody.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think that's where the emotions come from.
Yeah.
But, what do you think about, I guess, the whole thing about seeing your older self and wanting all these answers and knowing that you just can't have them?
I mean, for her to tell, don't touch it. I don't want you to. Yeah, don't fall in love. But the heart wants what the heart wants.
Yeah.
And she was gonna end up, with him regardless.
Right.
Even if her future self, even if even if her future self, or giving all these, like, don't hang out, don't do this, don't have sex with him or whatever.
Yeah.
The universe itself, let's just say that the universe or destiny or whatever, it was gonna play its role.
For sure. I mean, she even predicted it in a way. The older version of her predicted, oh, like, you did this, you did that, huh? That's because I did the same thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you're right. Destiny does play a role into this, and the universe has a way of doing things, and you can try and fight it as much as you can because you want to, you want to save the people that you care the most. And if you know that they're gonna die, you're gonna do anything in your willpower to change it.
Yeah.
And I feel like you can kind of see it in Aubrey Plaza's face that she doesn't want to tell her because it's gonna tear her down more. But one thing that the younger girl kind of says is that she wants to experience it. whether it ends with pain, whether it ends, with her suffering.
Yeah.
She wants to fall in love deeply, and she doesn't care how much. She doesn't care if he's gonna die in a month or in a week.
Yeah.
She just wants to enjoy, because if you live in that kind of mentality that you're just not gonna, do anything with your life, then what's the point of going outside?
Yeah.
Just stay home.
Yeah.
Just stay home, because if you have that kind of mentality where you don't want to experience anything, you don't want to live, then you might as well just, rot in your own. Rot in your lonesome. So I think this movie has a beautiful moral story that everybody can relate to.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously it's sad,
Yeah.
things happen, life is unfair. And yeah, I did not, this is one thing I didn't expect coming out of the theater.
Yeah.
Is to feel this certain emotion of wanting to be grateful for my life, grateful with who I'm surrounded with, and just having the notion like, hey, I gotta spend more time with my family.
Yeah.
I gotta put, people first. I gotta give that attention, because time, like, they said, fucking goes by so quick.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this movie definitely is emotional, and I can probably say that this is not for the younger, kids.
Mm-hmm. It is a rated R.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's rated R. So
Gotcha.
we knew right away. I mean, just having, and just a heads up to everybody that's planning to go or just watched it. Like, it is. It's a queer movie, in a way. But if you can get past that and actually see the message, then it's a pretty good movie. And drugs.
Yeah.
there's
a lot of
drugs, and they talk about it pretty chillant.
Pretty much,
yeah.
But I feel
no
like
kids.
that's I feel like that's one of those things where it's just the real world.
Yeah.
Like, people know what drugs are. People, I don't know. And same thing with like the whole queer stuff. I think I don't necessarily think it's the most abused thing in this movie. I think this movie played a role, but it wasn't the main focus.
Yeah, and the reason I want to tell you because there's a more sensitive group of people than there are others. So we can't just say broader spectrum because people might just leave the movie theater.
And again, guys, it's a movie. Don't take it too personal. There is a lot of jokes here and there that it might not make everybody laugh.
Yeah.
So just be open-minded, I guess.
Yeah, Give
it a chance.
Yep.
Do you recommend this movie to
yes.
people?
Yes. It's one of those movies that maybe I'd probably just watch once, but it's and maybe if it comes out, maybe I'll probably share it. I'll probably make my sister go watch it because it's a pretty good movie.
Right.
And I do recommend it. I really, really do recommend it. And I love this movie. I know I'm probably never going to see it again.
Right.
But I really, really enjoyed this movie. It did its purpose, and that was to make me feel something.
Exactly, and that's the point of anything.
Yeah.
When you go into a movie theater, or you go to a concert or anything, the point of going somewhere is to feel something, and I feel like this movie succeeded in that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm ready for scores. Are you ready for scores, or do you have anything else to say?
I have one more thing.
Okay.
I do want to touch on one of the other thing that that kind of pulled on my heartstrings, and that's when Aubrey Plaza kind of hugs his Chad.
Yeah.
And Chad is like what the
like,
hell?
the hell?
But at the same time, I'm like just crying. Like I teared up, bro. I really did.
Really?
And I'm like, oh my gosh, like the emotion of actually like having the chance to hug that person that you adored so much.
Mm-hmm.
And they're gone now, and to have almost like a second chance to do that, it was like, oh my gosh, that really yeah. Anyways, we are going to scores.
Okay, sounds good. You want to go first?
I want you to go first on this one.
With everything that we've been saying so far about this movie, it's not the movie of the year. I'll say that. I don't think it's going to be a memorable movie. I don't think it's going to be rewatchable either. But for the time being, for the moment, I think it's good. I think that there isn't anything like too much negative things to say about it. Obviously, scientifically and realistically.
Yeah, if you're gonna go down that pathway, don't even go.
Yeah, you're just gonna disappoint yourself.
Yeah.
Because I think this movie, the point about this movie is just to give you that perspective and give you that insight of what it would have been like if you could just talk to your older self.
Yeah.
And what things went down in this movie is kind of probably what everybody would go through. You would have this
moment of shock.
Yeah, moment of shock, and then and then having all these questions, and then get disappointed, because that's what happens. You get disappointed with your older self because you have all these expectations, and then you kind of realize that life is life. And, her biggest accomplishment was being a PhD student. So, but with that being said, for me, I think the score will have to be an 86.
No way, really?
86 for this movie.
Wow.
With everything, I think it's a decent movie. It's obviously not perfect, but it still did its job. It made me feel something, and that's what's important here. So yeah, 86 for me. What about you?
You're gonna hate my score.
Oh God.
It is high.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, I don't care if it's rewatchable, or if it's
realistic,
or realistic, or once in a lifetime. Just you see it once in life, but it does do its job of you feeling something, and I really enjoyed it. I didn't get bored. I didn't fall asleep or anything. It was a good paced movie.
Yeah,
it was a good paced movie.
Pretty decent.
Overall, I enjoyed it.
Okay.
If I was to give it like 5 stars, I'd give it all 5 stars.
Mm-hmm.
I want to give it a 95.
95. To
be fair, I really, really like this movie.
Okay.
I recommend this movie so much.
Wow.
But I did enjoy it. I if I were me, maybe I'd go see it again with somebody else.
Nice.
And still enjoy it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, I think you could enjoy it again because you already know what's gonna happen. You know why Chad can't be.
Yeah.
And you can kind of look at your friend and be like, oh, I want to see his reaction.
Yeah.
But yeah, this movie is definitely one of the sadder ones throughout this year that we've seen so far.
But it's a good sad. It's a good sad.
Yeah. It's a hopeful sad.
It's a good. It's a
wholesome sad.
Yeah. It's a sadness because of your realization of what life is. And, things that you've kind of forgotten and all that stuff. But there's a good message. 95 for me.
Okay. So since you went 95 and I'm 86, we don't meet at the middle anywhere. It'll be, percentage wise.
Oh no.
So either you go down to,
Hold on.
or I go to 85. So there you go, guys. Juan is going to take the bullet here and go up one more score. So our score can be, what was it? Like,
91%.
91. So our score can be a flat 91%.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you happy with that?
I'm really happy.
91 for my old ass?
Yes, it is a movie to go watch for sure.
Okay, sounds good. All right, guys. Thank you guys for listening. Sad movie. Go watch it. Bring some tissue boxes and, enjoy the popcorn. And, anything else you want to say to the people?
That's it. Just give it a chance, people.
Hell yeah. All right, guys. Thank you guys for listening. And as always, stay entertained.